Hey guys! Welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today's video is going to be something totally different than I've never done this on my channel before. I've been focused on makeup and beauty, and I actually wanted to do a story time with you guys today because something happened earlier this week that I wanted to kind of share with you guys, kind of as a little bit of a humorous story and kind of as a little bit of a life lesson for me and you guys watching. I don't know really how to start except from the beginning. So I am officially 21, so I have been for a couple months actually. So I've been going out to the bars a little bit more lately. And one of my friends actually asked me to go to a bar in town that has weekly specials, and this day's special was Tequila Tuesday. So she asked me to go just for a couple of drinks, and I was like, do I have to go? Like, I just wasn't feeling going out. I didn't feel like drinking. But eventually I agreed to go out with her, and I was just like, you know what, like, why not? It's still Christmas break. Like, I might as well go out before I have the stress of classes added on. So I was like, okay, let's go, we can go out. So I mean, we pre-gamed a little bit before we went out, and then we finally got down to the bar and took a couple of tequila shots, and then one of our other friends came in and he was like, hey, we're having a little party, not really a party, but a little get together at my place if you guys want to come. So I was just like, why not? I mean, the bar is dead, it's Christmas break, there's like 10 people in here. So I was like, guys, let's go, like, why not? So we decided to go over to his place, which wasn't very far from the bars, and we played a little bit of beer pong, laughed, danced, had a little bit of fun. And then some of our other friends were like, hey, let's go back to this other bar and play some pool and get some more drinks. So we decided to leave the house and we went back to another bar, and we stayed until closing, which is 2 a.m. here. So we stayed until closing, we closed the bar, and then I didn't want to go home yet because when I get in the mood to party, I like to stay out as late as I can, and I like to make the most of it. They said that they were going to go back to their house and like do what we did before we came to the bar. So I was just like, you know what, why not? Like, let's go back and play a couple more games of beer pong and then go home. I convinced my other friend to come with, one that had convinced me to come out, and she decided she wanted to go home because she was tired. So I was like, all right, I'll go with this friend. And so we went over there and it was fine for a while. We were just chilling. I mean, we were talking. I mean, you know how drunk people get when they're together in a group. They get pretty loud and they get rambunctious. So the owner of the apartment was trying to keep us quiet because he had gotten a complaint from his upstairs neighbors earlier that other week saying that they had smelt marijuana and that they had it had been very loud. So it was kind of a warning already that they had given him the past week. So he was a little nervous about having people over. And he was just like, guys, like, stay a little quieter. Like, it's pretty late. It's 3 a.m. Like, I don't want to get the cops called on us and have a noise complaint. So, I mean, I was okay with it. I was keeping quiet, but, you know, you can't control everybody. One, he's not my friend. He's someone, I don't know. He's kind of friends of the guy who owns the apartment. He decided to go and get marijuana and bring it back to the apartment because he and a few other guys wanted to smoke. So he did that, and then when he arrived back, he found out that they didn't have any like rolling paper or anything for that. So he was like, you know what, I'm gonna go back to my house and get my bong. So there were quite a few people trying to convince him to stay and not worry about it. They were like, we don't have to smoke that bad, like, you don't need to risk it, stuff like that. But the guy decided to go get it anyway. So he came back and him and a few other people went outside to smoke, and that is when we heard that there were cops outside. I had literally just came downstairs from going to the bathroom and I was ready to play a game of beer pong because I haven't gotten to play yet. So I was like a little bit excited, and then I heard there's cops outside, and I was like, what? Because, you know, when you hear there's cops, I mean, sometimes it's not that big a deal if you're just drinking and you're all over age. But when people decide to bring marijuana or any other sorts of drugs into the picture, and you're just there to have fun and socialize and drink, I mean, you kind of get screwed out of the deal anyway, because if you're in the place that has marijuana, the cops don't care. Like, they're going to try to screw you too. So, I mean, I was staying calm at first because, I mean, there were people outside, they had gotten arrested, and, like, I was just, like, at the point where I was just like, hopefully the cops will go away soon, like, they won't stay. But come to find out, they had seen people come back into the apartment, so they figured that it was kind of a group thing, if I may. So they were actually waiting outside because the owner of the apartment would not open the door for them. So they were waiting outside for a warrant. And this happened at like 3 a.m. and I mean, by this time I was pretty drunk because I'd been mixing alcohols and like sipping off people's, and I was just like, I want to go home. Like, I don't want to have to stay here. And but we couldn't leave because it was that point where if you left, the cops would question you no matter what. Like, if you stayed, they would question you, and if you tried to leave, they would get you and question you. So it was just like, I'd rather be inside. I mean, and it got to the point where it was like 5 a.m. and the cops finally got a warrant. They knocked on the door, and the owner of the apartment had to answer, of course, because otherwise they would have broken down the door. And so I was just laying there on the couch. The cops come in, they're like, everybody up, and they start collecting our information. And so I'm just like, I have nothing to do with this. I have nothing to worry about. I'm just gonna sit here and chill. Like, it's not that big of a deal. They can't get me for anything because I'm overage. I'm 21. Like, I had no part in the marijuana, like nothing at all. And so they are getting everyone's information, and then they give us all copies of the warrant, and they're like, we are searching the entire apartment, and we need to get samples of everyone's urine so we can test it. And I was just like, oh my god. So this was a very long process. We didn't get done with this process until probably 6:45. They searched the entire house, and they like pulled people aside and questioned them, and they actually did end up finding something, which, I mean, it was like a blowtorch, and then they had it was a key ring around the neck of the blowtorch that had a like little fork like thingy that people use for dab rigs. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but it had that on it, and then on the other side of the keychain it had the letter G. So I was just like, okay, like, I mean, alright, like, they found something, so yeah, they were going to question everybody, and if no one owned up to it, then everyone would be going to jail. So, simple as that. Everyone would be getting charged. And so I was just like, really? Like, even though I had nothing to do with this, even though I was just here to drink and socialize, I'm still getting fucked over for this. So eventually they take me out to take my urine, and then I come back down and they pull me outside to question me. And I'm just like, okay, and the cops like trying to kind of make small talk, but I'm coming out of my buzz, I'm tired, I'm over the situation. It was so much bullshit, and I was just like not having it. Like, I was not about to make small talk with him when I just wanted to go home. So he starts showing me the stuff that they found and asking me if I knew what it was and explaining it to me, saying that those things together were drug paraphernalia. And I was like, okay, like, it's not mine. And he was asking me if I had seen anybody up in the room they found it in, blah, blah, blah. I told him what I knew, and then he gets to the keychain and he's like, do you see this letter on it? And I was like, yeah, it's letter G. He was like, you realize that you're the only person here with a G in their first or last name. And I was just like, okay, like, what does that have to do with anything? And he was this cop was basically trying to convince me that this was mine and that I had to own up to it. I was like, do you think I'm stupid? Like, there's no way that this is mine. Like, first of all, I got dropped off at the bars with 3 other friends, and they could vouch for me. I did not have a purse on me. I did not have a bag on me. Yes, I was just gonna carry around a random fucking blowtorch with no bag or purse on me. Yep. You got me. So he's just sitting there like, you realize everyone's gonna have to go to jail if you don't own up. And I was just like, this isn't mine. I stared him straight in the eyes and I was like, I have never seen this before. It is not mine. So you are not going to get me to say that it is mine to make your job easier. So I was just, at this point, I was so angry. I was seeing red. Like, I was just so over the situation and so annoyed. So he was like, all right, well, I guess we're done here then. You can go back inside. So I went back inside and I kind of slammed the door open because I was so pissed. I was like, this is fucking bullshit. And then I go sit over by my friend and he was like, what's up? Like, what's wrong? I was just like, oh, apparently because the keychain had a letter G on it, it's mine. And then at that point, I just like put my head in my hands and I just broke down because there's just so much going on, and I had never been in a situation like that before. I was so stressed out. My anxiety was at the freaking roof. Like, it was so high. Like, I was shaking the whole entire time, even though I had done nothing. Like, I was still so scared. I just like broke down in tears, like sobbing. So I was just like, I just want to go home. Like, there was people talking on this side, blah, 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 fighting with the cops almost, like, talking sass. People on this side, like, some of the cops were being assholes, some of them were being nice. It was just like, I don't go out and party a whole lot anyway. I never really have, just because I've been scared of being in this type of situation. Because, I mean, when you're at a party and anyone brings out any kind of drugs in any way and the party gets busted, everyone there is at fault. Like, they'll question everybody. They won't be like, oh, okay, you're completely sober, nothing to do with it, you're still getting in trouble. Like, in most cases, if you're a minor and you're sober at a party, they will still get you for an underage. So it's kind of fucked. The whole situation is fucked, you know, and I don't know. I mean, looking back at it, it's kind of funny, but then again, it's not, because, I mean, eventually the cop came in and he was like, so none of you are going to have to go to the station tonight because they didn't find any evidence on whose it was. No one owned up to it. And it was just kind of frustrating because it's just like, if it was someone's there and they didn't own up to it, like, seriously, you put everyone else through that. So what they're doing, the cops took all the P tests and they're sending them up, and in a month, 30 days, we will either randomly find out if we are getting arrested or we'll be fine. Like, they'll just randomly put out a warrant for your arrest if your pee did not come back clean. So, I mean, it's kind of stressful, but it's kind of not because I don't have anything to worry about. But I know some of the other people do, and it's just like, it's kind of a fuck situation, you know, because even if they didn't decide to partake that night, like, they're still going to get fucked over for it. So, I mean, I guess the lesson of the story is, guys, be careful. Like, if you are out partying and someone does bring any kind of drugs into the picture, just know that there are consequences, and some of them can be very serious. Drug charges will fuck up your life. Like, they will mess with your scholarships, your anything. Like, if you get caught with drugs or caught, like, ingesting them, like, be very careful. I personally have now made the decision that if I am out at a party and anyone brings any kind of drugs into the picture, I am leaving, because that situation that I was in the other night, I never want to be in again. It was very, very scary, very nerve-wracking. Like, I do suffer from anxiety, and the fact that that happened and I did not have a breakdown, like, I was very surprised because I was on the verge of one. I had literally, my phone was at 10% when all that was happening. I literally wrote down 2 of my friends' phone numbers on my hand in case I was taken to jail, because I was like, man, I'm gonna have to need a sober driver so I can get out of jail. Like, I was just, it was very stressful. So, I mean, it is kind of funny, but it isn't, because there was a lot of bullshit involved, especially with the cops trying to pin it on me because of the G on the keychain. It was just very, very annoying, because it's just like, that G literally could have been for anything. Like, the owner of the apartment has a roommate. Like, it could have been his, and yet they were trying to pin it on me just to make their job easier. So yeah, it did really piss me off. But I mean, I did learn a very valuable lesson. The moral of the story is just be smart and know what you're doing, know your rights. Like, that's all, really. I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and I hope you learned something too, because I definitely did, and I never want to be in a situation with cops like that again. Like, it was so scary. So, I mean, if you guys have your own stories you're willing to share, comment in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. It means so much. Don't forget to subscribe. I hope you liked my storytime video. Maybe I'll do some in the future. My life's kind of boring, but who knows? Something else might happen. So yeah, make sure you subscribe to my channel before you leave. Don't forget that. Leave a comment, a thumbs up, blah, blah, blah. Share with your friends if you thought this story was funny, which, I mean, it can be. See you guys in my next video. Bye!